Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I think it's been more than a year now, maybe two, since I was last on YouTube. Well, the reason is because, initially I got lazy and then I had cancer. Well, had or have, I'm not too sure, but since my blood work and everything was good the last time I checked, so let's just put that in the past tense, okay? So today, I'm going to do a seafood platter mukbang slash Q&A slash cancer reveal video, and I chose seafood platter because most of you chose seafood platter instead of sushi platter. So let's dig in. I'm gonna answer a few questions while I eat. Let's eat. I know this is like the most ridiculous way of revealing that I had cancer, but I didn't really know how to like share that I had cancer because it's such an awkward video that I never expected to make, you know. And I just wanted to lighten this whole thing up by doing a mukbang slash revelation video. Hi again. So I was at the end of my video and then that's when I realized that, you know what, I forgot to mention about what kind of cancer I had in my intro. I kind of like just went like, yeah, I have cancer, you know, let's go eat. Guys, I need to get my shit together. Okay, anyway, so let me try again by saying, yes, I have cancer, and it is the papillary thyroid carcinoma. It's another differentiated type of thyroid cancer. So thyroid cancer has three types. One is papillary, and the other two is another kind of differentiated cancer, which is much worse than what I had. And so I guess I'm very fortunate to have the less serious one. I don't know, it's just weird to say that I'm fortunate when it comes to cancer. I found out on the 16th. Let me see. I forgot when I found out.
Eventually.
So I found out that I had cancer on the 17th of October in 2017. So that was about a year plus ago. And yeah, I wouldn't say that my world came crashing down on me or something, but it was a very difficult time in my life, and I'm just glad that it's over now. All I could do at the time was just look for the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm so glad that I'm finally there, you know. It's 1 year plus later now, and finally my body feels somewhat normal, somewhat back to normal. My symptoms have lessened and I don't feel so exhausted all the time anymore. I finally feel like I can, you know, get up and do stuff. Whereas in the past, like throughout the 1 year, I really felt like, you know, I just had my energy drained out of me. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sleep right. I couldn't wake up right because every time I woke up, I felt like pain in my joints, my bones. My lungs felt heavy and tired. You know, sometimes I told Niche that I was just so tired that I was so tired to breathe. That's the kind of level of exhaustion I was at. So, and that's why I took about a year off my studies to fully recuperate and like, you know, just heal. I know a lot of people don't understand this and as to why I postponed so long, but I just don't go into the details as to why I needed my rest. But it wasn't so much as to, oh yeah, I needed to have fun, you know, guys. Anyway, I've had like some people make remarks about how they see that I'm already traveling and like my life seems okay. Why am I not continuing my studies? Well, it's so much more complicated than what you see on Instagram. Instagram is just another social media platform where we just portray what's great in life. Anyway, so let's fast forward into the video of me eating. Bye. So about a few months ago, I posted a link for you guys to ask me a few questions anonymously, as well as the ones on Instagram. So these are the questions that you guys asked, and I'm going to read it out and answer you guys as I eat. And I have no fork. It's okay, we have hands for that. So the first question is, why have you stopped posting pictures about you and your boyfriend on Instagram? You posted about your relationship quite frequently the last time, just curious. this was a while back, and during that period of time, I think we just both got busy and we didn't really care about posting on Instagram. I just recently got more active recently, so that's why. Then the second question is, how did your boyfriend handle the news of your cancer diagnosis? Well, I think he handled it pretty badly because he wasn't sure if I was gonna be okay. When we first found out, we didn't know what stage it was at yet, or like how far along my cancer was. So I think he handled it pretty badly because he was so devastated, as were my parents. I think that's pretty normal. And I think he felt really helpless because he didn't know what he could do to help me or to take the pain away in that sense. So yeah, it took a few months for him to actually get used to the fact that I had cancer, and every time we bring it up, he starts tearing up because he's so afraid of losing me. And yeah, talking about this brings back a lot of like really hard memories. I don't talk about it much, but it was a very painful time in my life because the worst part about my cancer wasn't the fact that I had cancer, it was the fact that the people I loved were very hurt and affected by it, and they were all very sad, and I didn't know what I could do as well. So yeah, let's just say that it was bad. By the way, this seafood platter is from Red Lobster. That was like the only seafood platter I could find that's nearby my house. And then I made seafood chowder. This is the seafood clam chowder. In this seafood platter, there's like prawns, wedges, corn, some scallops, and some snow crab. And they gave some chili sauce, so that's what I've been dipping in. So the next question is, actually many of you guys asked me this question, and it's, are you married or planning to get married? And how many years of relationship with the current one? I don't know if you're planning to get married yet, but maybe someday in the future, okay guys? And we've been together about almost 6 years now, maybe 3 more months to 6 years. Oh, I forgot to say, we're not married yet, guys. And the next question is, are you on any medication right now? How frequent is your follow-up? And what do they screen for? So yes, I'm on medication. It's called thyroxine. It's technically a hormone replacement for the hormones that I'm missing since I removed my thyroid. I did a total thyroidectomy, so I had to remove the whole thing because I actually had about almost a 2 cm nodule on my left lobe. And how frequent is your follow-up? Every 3 months, I go in to do some blood work and for him to check my lymph nodes as well as the surrounding area of my thyroid just to make sure that there are no new lumps. And what do they screen for now? It's a little complicated to explain because it's all scientific names, but technically they screen for my TSH levels and my thyroglobulin levels. Man, I suck at pronouncing shit. Okay, so the thing is that I need my TSH to be low because it's called thyroid stimulating hormone. And what it is since I did a total thyroidectomy and I don't have any more thyroid, so I shouldn't be having any more thyroid stimulating hormones, because if that's the case, the chances of my cancer coming back, excuse me, the chances of my cancer coming back is pretty high. how do people do mukbangs and talk at the same time? I'm so hungry, but I feel like I've got to get through all these questions. So what instance did you realize that your hubby was the one? I think I realized that pretty much early on in the relationship, because I've never felt about him. I've never felt the way I felt about him with anyone else. I just feel this sense of calm, and we're just really happy. And yeah, I think I knew pretty much early on. But if there is one moment, like a defining moment, that I knew for sure that he was the one, it was during my thyroid cancer time, because he was always so sweet and he was always there for me, and I could see how much our relationship and I meant to him. I think I really stuck at mukbang because I don't know how to eat and talk at the same time. You know what? Let's just take a break from questionnaires because I'm really hungry. And these are the crab legs I got. They gave me half a body as well, 2 pincers and a few more other legs. I don't know where the other half of the body went, but I guess that's all I'm getting today. Guys, I didn't know that. I forgot that I didn't mention that I had thyroid cancer at the start of this video. It's okay, I guess you guys will just have to catch on. Okay, so now I got my crab leg out. Let's continue. The next question is, how did you handle the news of your cancer and what was your reaction? You know how in the movies people always say that I felt my world stop spinning? I always thought that was a little funny because I've never felt that way, but in that moment when I received my news, it was exactly how I felt. It felt like the world stopped spinning for a moment and time just stopped. I remember looking into the hallways of the hospital and thinking like, oh my god, what is life right now? And I started panicking a little because all I could think about was, do I have to go for chemo now? How far along is my cancer? I didn't know a thing because my doctor at the time didn't really inform me that I had cancer. He informed my dad, which till today I'm still quite pissed because I don't know why he never came to me since I was a patient. He never came to me to tell me that I had cancer. I had to like find out from my dad. Yeah, I was saying that my doctor didn't personally tell me that I had cancer. He told my dad, and my dad, when I came out of the room, my dad was trying to hold in his emotions, but he started crying when I asked him what was wrong. And that was how I got my news. When he started crying and he says that it's bad, that was the moment I knew that I had cancer. And I was like, shit, now what, you know? And in that moment, all I knew about cancer was chemotherapy and whether I needed it or whether I was gonna die. All these questions started running through my mind, and I remember thinking that I needed to gather my emotions and talk to my doctor. And I went to him and he kept saying, oh, you can read the report, you can read the report. And I was just so upset because I really needed someone to tell me to my face that, you know what, you have cancer and this is what you need to do. But instead, I had this 1,000,001 questions that were unanswered. And I was just really unhappy about that. Well, anyway, that has passed, and after that, after hearing the news, and I knew I had to break the news to my mom, who was still in the hospital room at that time. We didn't know we were gonna get the results because we thought it was gonna come out only the next day. But when the doctor called the lab, it was already out. I mean, the results were already out, and that's how he informed my dad. So we were all a little unprepared for the news, and at the time, my doctor kept saying that, oh, you're so young, it's most probably nothing. I mean, that's what we all thought. We didn't expect it to be cancer. yeah, so I knew I had to break the news to my mom, and I just couldn't do it because I couldn't see her cry and like tell my mom the worst news she could ever hear. You know, that her daughter and her only child has cancer. I mean, what kind of parent would want to hear that, you know? So I got Niche, who was also trying to console my dad, and he was also like a little in shock with the news. He started crying and he told my mom that I had cancer. And then subsequently, I don't know what happened in those moments because my mind is just blank. I just knew that I received the news I had cancer, and then I asked the doctor and I told Niche to tell my mom. And then I don't remember what happened after that. It was as if my mind went blank. And so after Niche informed my mom, I went into the room and my mom was crying. But when she saw me, she tried to hold in her tears, and she just stopped crying for a moment and she looked at me and asked if I was okay. And I said I was okay because I think I was still a little in shock. I didn't cry or anything, but I had so many questions that were left unanswered, and I was just really unhappy because even though I wanted to console my family and Niche, I didn't know what to say, you know. I didn't know if I was going to be alright or like how my cancer was like. I didn't know what I needed to do. And so my doctor at the time, who is an ENT doctor, scheduled for me to meet my surgeon to talk about what I should do next. And that was only a week later or something like that. That's when I found out all the things that I needed to find out about my cancer, the procedures, the kind of surgeries I needed, and etc. Yeah, so I was back in the hospital room the day I found out I had cancer. I remember feeling, I wouldn't say I was down, but I was in shock, and I remember feeling like, you know, I needed to be strong for my family right now because all of them are crying. And we didn't really have time to digest the news myself. I mean, I don't know if I actually digested the news months later because till today I've not cried about my cancer, ever. And I don't think that was me being brave. It was just me knowing that I needed to do what I needed to do to survive it and to beat it so that I can be with my family and that my family would stop being sad, you know. So fast forward a few days, I was a little more prepared to face my cancer because Nishran works in the medical line, and he explained to me what my thyroid cancer was and what are the standard procedures that I needed to do in order to beat it. And also he told me that the rate of survival is quite high. So then I was a little more relieved, and so was he, I suppose. Next question. So the next question is, was the surgery invasive? How long was it and were you scared? Yes, I would say that it's invasive because the surgery involves the thyroid, which is here, and it's very close to your vocal cords and the other nerves that runs across this area, as well as your throat. So if they damage your vocal cords, your voice would change for the rest of your life. And I think mine hasn't changed, but it took maybe 5-6 months for me to really like get my voice back and also to be able to speak normally. And how long was the surgery? I think it took about 3 hours. And were you scared? No, I guess I wasn't scared because my surgery was really early in the morning, and all I could think about was I really wanted to sleep. I was just so exhausted and tired from like all the drama, the cancer, everything. I just wanted to go into the operating theater and just sleep. If anything, maybe I was a little scared of the pain that I would feel waking up from the surgery, but surprisingly enough, the pain was honestly very bearable, and the doctor didn't put like a tube through to drain the fluids or anything. I'm not sure why, but I guess he didn't see the need to, and I'm not sure if you can see, but my thyroid scar has healed really well. I don't think you can really see it anymore. But yeah, so I remember my dad and Nishan, they kept telling me that, hey, don't worry, you'll be fine and everything. And I just kept telling them, just tell that to yourself because I know I'll be fine. But Nishan was a little scared that I wouldn't wake up from surgery because you know there are cases where people just don't, right? So yeah, that was it. I wasn't afraid. I was just more tired than anything. Next is, never heard of thyroid cancer till I saw your post. Never knew what a thyroid was for, so maybe explain more. Okay, let me find out what it's about. So actually a thyroid is this butterfly-shaped gland, and it's about 2 inches long, and it's in the front of your neck that controls your metabolism. It is the largest endocrine system, as well as controls many of your body functions. Sorry guys, I'm like just reading through, and there's just so much information, and I'm trying to like summarize it for you guys. So the thyroid sits right below your voice box, which is your larynx, near the base of your neck. 2 hormones made by the thyroid gland help regulate your metabolism. That is like T3 and T4 as I mentioned just now. And they can affect how fast your heart beats, how deep you breathe, and whether you gain or lose weight. They can also help control your body temperature, cholesterol levels, and women's menstrual cycles. So yeah, in summary, that's what it is. But living without a thyroid for the past year has just been really difficult because it takes a while for my body. It takes a while for your body to get used to not having a thyroid and also replacing the missing hormones with something that is as simple as just a pill. It doesn't quite work as straightforward as it should because I don't know how to explain this, but so everybody's body needs a different type of level of thyroxine in order to function, and in order to do that, the doctor just has to play a guessing game in order to find out what your body really needs. So within this 1 year, I changed my dosage like maybe 3 to 4 times, and that really, I'm trying to find a nice word to say it, but like it really f***ed me up. Guys, I really suck at this mukbang shit because I don't know when I should stop to eat and when should I continue answering questions. Because I don't want this video to be so long, but I guess I'm not gonna finish this in the video. So anyway, I know this is not part of the question, but I wanted to share with you what it's like to not have a thyroid, because maybe some of you who are experiencing what I'm experiencing are at the early stages. Maybe this video could help you. So living without a thyroid is like a roller coaster of feelings, because there's not gonna be a day where you feel the same as you previously did. So throughout the 1 year, I've just been really exhausted. I had a certain level of energy, but once I used that up in a day, even with my pills that I take, there's just no way of getting my energy back. I'm just exhausted to the point where my lungs feel tired. I'm not sure if anyone will understand what that feels like, but my bones feel heavy, my lungs feel tired of breathing. That's the kind of tired I feel. And also I experienced a lot of hair loss. So at one point I lost a lot of hair, and I had so much baby hair that was like just sticking out. It was just so ugly, oh god. So I was pretty upset about it for a period of time because there was no one else that I could talk to who felt the same way or were going through the things I went through. And losing hair was pretty difficult for me because, I don't know, when you see the amount of hair that you lose, it just, I don't know, it just scares you, I guess. I know it's a vein or something, but I don't know. Well, besides that, I kept getting palpitations because my body still has not regulated my hormones properly, and so with palpitations, I had difficulties in breathing, or I don't know. There's just a lot more that comes with thyroid cancer. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that, because if not, it's going to be really long. But technically, all I can say is that weight gain and weight loss, it's like this as well, but you gain easier than you lose. And what else? Oh, and anxiety is amplified when you have no thyroid, and you get angry quickly or get sad really fast as well, or I don't know, it's just an array of emotions. The next question is, did you really cheat on your ex with your current boyfriend? The simple answer is no. I did not cheat on my ex, although, I don't know, the rumors are saying I did. The answer is no. And I'm not gonna answer this ever again because I just don't want to bring it up. It's 6 years now. So the next question is, any advice you could give after going through cancer at your age? Yes, and it's, you're stronger than you think you are. You won't know it till you face it. Because there's just no other way but to be strong. In order to beat this cancer, you have to have a strong mindset, you know, or any type of cancer, or any kind of hurdles that you have in life. There's just no other way to deal with it but to be strong. Just make sure that, you know, when you don't have appetite or mood to eat, make sure you eat, because you need the energy in order to fight this. Because when it comes to treatment, it was like one of the worst times in my life. I had to go through radioiodine for my type of cancer. It is where you drink this liquid, what do you call it? Well, it's a radioactive liquid where you got to drink in order to kill all your thyroid cells. And because thyroid takes up iodine, so they produce a liquid radioiodine solution for you to drink, and once it spreads throughout your body, it starts to kill the cells. So when I went through radioiodine, I was the most depressed because they lock you up in a room like you're some kind of animal. You can't be exposed to anyone because you're radioactive in the moment. And it's for the safety of everyone actually. And so people who come into the room are just nurses and doctors, and all they do is they check your blood pressure, your temperature, and then they leave. And then they serve food at the front of the door. You gotta like pick it up at the tray section, and then you bring it to your bed and you eat. And the food that they serve, guys, oh god, it was so bad. Because in that moment you can't have any kind of iodine in your food. So the menu that they gave you was iodine free, and although they say that you can actually put salt in your food, well, the hospital didn't. And so my food was just bland and disgusting. Yeah, so I was saying that you really need the energy in order to fight this, because after my treatment, I felt so nauseated, I was so weak, and I was so tired. I didn't have the energy to do anything at all. And so that's why I say it's so important for you to eat well. It's so important for you to eat well, to nourish your body, I suppose. And also guys, another advice, please do not believe in like some hocus pocus, herbal, I don't know, whatever else that can cure your cancer. Trust me, if such a thing existed, people would have been cured of cancer by now, okay? And I really think that whoever who is out there who is spreading this news where, oh, this herbal drink can save your life when you have cancer or something, God, these people are kind of murderers, because those people who don't know better, who are not properly educated on what cancer is like, you're taking advantage of them. And you're really making them feel like, you know, this is what they can hold on to, a pillar of hope, you know. And that's just really bad because you're using people when they're most vulnerable, and that's just plain evil, guys. So please stop doing that shit. If you're in this kind of business, please fucking stop, okay? And the next question is, why are you so pretty? Thank you, whoever who said that. And then I got a lot of other questions asking me when am I gonna get married. Like I said, guys, someday. Maybe I should start like a GoFundMe for you guys to like fund my wedding, and maybe I will. Jokes. So another question is, as a cancer survivor, how can you inspire others and how life has changed? I'm not sure if my story is very inspiring to say the least, but all I can say is that life is going to change. You're going to have a new normal. Don't expect your life to go back to normal because it's never going to. My life hasn't gone back to normal. I've not felt the same as I felt before my surgery and before my cancer. There's just, although people say like, hey, you know what, after cancer everything's going to go back to normal. Maybe that's what your doctors would say because that's what my doctor said. No. You're going to have a new normal. You just have to get used to it. Make sure, I don't know, keep a positive outlook on everything. Make sure that you have this positive mindset because that's what kept me going. And that's what really motivated me to like continue on with my treatments and my daily life in general. And how life has changed in a lot of ways actually. In so many ways. One of it is, you know, I'm not sure if any of you are like me, but before this, I just took life for granted, you know. I was so young. I thought I could do anything I wanted to do, be invincible. But then I was hit by this news that I have cancer, and it's just crazy. And to be honest, it really felt like my body was betraying me because when I found out, I didn't feel like something was wrong with me. And I don't know. So, in other words, my life has changed in a sense that I appreciate life a lot more. And after I found out about the news of my cancer, I didn't take things so seriously anymore. And a lot of things just didn't matter in that moment. Everything else seems so trivial. Like when it comes to money, materialistic stuff, sour friendships, I don't know, everything else just felt so trivial. And in that moment, I just couldn't be bothered about anything else but to just live life to the fullest. It's so cliche to say, but when death knocks on your door, that's just how you feel, you know. You don't value things like traveling, you don't value things like money, branded stuff, makeup, I don't know. It just changes your whole outlook on life. Yeah. So actually that's pretty much all the questions that I got. A lot of it were repetitions, so since I've already answered them, I'm not going to repeat the questions again. And I'm just going to talk more about my cancer, I suppose, since this is a cancer revelation video. I probably shouldn't be doing this because I'm probably going to crack my teeth and regret this, but I'm just too lazy to get myself a pizza. So, how I found out about my cancer was, I felt this lump over here for quite a while, and I went to the doctors to check out what it was, and my doctors kept saying, like the normal GP doctors, they kept saying that it was a lymph node, like over here, and it felt like a very strange place for you to have a lymph node, but I still trusted them anyway because, you know, they know better, right? And then they gave me 2 rounds of antibiotics, and it still never went away, and that's when I felt like something was really off. And I told my dad about it, and then he brought me to the ENT that I spoke about just now, and then he did a scope, like it goes from your nose and all the way down for him to check if the lump is like inside your throat. Internally, it's both internal. How do I say this? So it goes through your throat to see if there's anything stuck in there or if there's a lump in there. And when he did that, he said that he didn't see anything suspicious, but I should go for an ultrasound to check thoroughly. So then anyway, so my ultrasound was scheduled for the next day, and I remember going in, and when the person was like going through this area, I saw the look on her face, and I was like, wait, what? Because she had this look of like shock and like disbelief, and she kept going like around this area again and again to like properly check. And oh no guys, no. Okay. So I remember she went to check this area thoroughly again and again, and it just felt a little suspicious. And I remember asking her, wait, do I have cancer or something? And I remember she just told me, you know what, don't worry about it, everything's gonna be okay. Maybe you should speak to the doctor. Because normally when something is okay, it's as easy as saying, yeah, you know, you're fine, everything seems clear. But when she did it, she had this look of horror on her face, and I just immediately knew that something was wrong. Okay, but I had this hope in me that maybe she was wrong. And then when the results came out, I brought it back to the clinic to see the ENT. He looked through the scans, and I remember him telling me, everything is okay, but let's just run a few more tests to make sure. And then I was like, oh, okay, since everything seems okay, but let's just run a few tests. And I remember him telling me that the test is, what do you call it? An FNR. So what it is actually a fine needle respiration where they injected a local anesthesia into my neck, and then maybe 2 local, I'm not sure. Well, he injected 2 or 3 times on my neck. I'm not sure what those injections were for, but I'm pretty sure it's to like numb the area so that I don't feel anything. And then after that, he made a small incision in my neck right here. They put in the scope, the camera scope, as well as the thing to cut into my throat. And I could see on the screen what he was doing exactly to me. And he kept talking me through it. And he kept assuring me that everything was okay. And he kept asking me questions to distract me from, I don't know, the scope. I think in my whole entire time when I found out I had cancer till today, I was most afraid of this procedure because I was awake for it, okay? And they were gonna slice my neck open. It just all sounded so scary in my head that I kind of like hyped myself up a little too much about the whole entire procedure, and I was just so scared going in. But guys, don't worry about it, you don't feel a thing. It's just scarier than it is. The procedure is done within, I don't know, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. That's it. You don't even need stitches after that because it's just a small hole. They put a plaster over it and it heals over time, I guess. Well, so what they do is that they cut out a few tissue samples from the lobe, the nodule that I had, and then they sent it for testing. So then after that was when I found out a day or 2 later, and about a week later I was scheduled to do my surgery, and I did my surgery on the 7th of November in 2017. And then they give you about a month to heal, and in between I think I went to see the doctor once more to make sure that my incision and everything was okay and my stitches were fine. I didn't have to do any stitch removal because I think he used those stitches that could melt into your skin or like disappear over time. Man, I would make such a bad medical student. and don't really have much time, so I'm just gonna wrap things up real quick. And I have so much food, so I'm just gonna finish most of this off camera. So about a month later, I started a diet called an RAI diet, which is very important and crucial for your RAI treatment, because your body is supposed to be starved of iodine for 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks at least, in order for the treatment to properly work. So I went on this diet where I had to go buy salt that had no iodine in it, and I wasn't allowed to have tofu, soy products. Actually, there's a huge list of things where I can't eat, even dairy, eggs. Well, pretty much everything contains iodine, so that's why it's called a low iodine diet. And after the 2 weeks, I went for my treatment, and I was quarantined for at least 4 days or 3 days. No, I'm pretty sure it's actually 4 days and 3 nights. I had a roommate who also had thyroid cancer, but hers wasn't aggressive and she had a lower dose of the radioiodine, whereas I had a higher dose because my cancer spread to my lymph nodes, and mine was pretty aggressive. So then after that, once you're released home, the person who picks you up in the same car can't be too close to you. You need to be like sitting on this side where the driver's seat is this side. So you have to sit behind diagonally. And then once I came home, I wasn't allowed to sleep in the same room as Nate, and I had to be separated. My clothes had to be washed separately. My sheets and everything had to be washed before anyone else can use it. So then after that, for at least 2 more weeks, you're not allowed to be around children as well as other people, and so I was pretty much quarantined at home as well, and I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, so I pretty much stayed at home, did my own things, the usual. And then after that, maybe a month after the treatment, I went to see my oncologist again, and that's when I started my hormone replacement. And then things went like this from then on. But I can say that after a whole year plus, now I feel like my body is pretty much more stable, and I think my body has regulated to the dose that I'm taking, which is 125 milligrams. So it's 2 pills, one is 100 and the other is 25 milligrams, just in case you guys are wondering. So in Malaysia, we have this Youth Cancer Society group that my friend recommended I join. And once I joined, I found people with the same type of cancer I had, and it was just so much easier to be able to talk to someone who understands. And I really appreciated them being around for me during that period of time. And I remember this girl, Lavanya, she also went through what I went through maybe a year or 2 back at the time. And I remember how encouraging she was and very comforting, and how she told me that I'll be okay, and if I needed anything that I could just go to her to talk. And that was really sweet. But I guess I'm just the kind of person that I don't really know. So I guess I'm not the kind of person that really talks about my emotions much. Honestly, I can count the times that I've talked about my cancer to anyone. Maybe 5. I don't know. I don't even talk to my parents about it or my friends. I guess I just have a problem opening up. But yeah, I really appreciated the support I got from the group. It wasn't just Lavanya that really helped me through that period of time. It was everyone else who welcomed me into the group, and like whenever I felt down or whenever I'm experiencing a certain symptom, I knew I could always go to them and ask like, hey, you guys have any advice? And they will always be there. So I really think that this Youth Cancer Society group in Malaysia really has helped me throughout my journey. So if any of you has cancer and you're watching this and you're a young adult, or I don't know what is the age limit, maybe 35, as long as you're a youth, I guess you can join this group. But if you're older and you're looking for a group as well, they actually have one. I'm not so sure what the contact is, but if you need it, you can maybe direct message me on Instagram or something, and I can like get you in touch. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is my new bracelet from the ants, and it's actually the colors of the thyroid cancer ribbon, because there are 3 types of thyroid cancer. One is the papillary, and the other 2 is another differentiated kind of thyroid cancer, and mine is the papillary type. Yeah, and so I contacted her just recently, a few months back, to ask if she could make a bracelet for me, just for me to have like a memento to like remember all the hardships that I went through, as well as to like, you know, raise awareness whenever people ask me, hey, what bracelet are you wearing, you know. And they were very sweet. They made 3 bracelets from me, and it has the cancer ribbon with the word hope on it. I think it's so pretty. I think they are called All the Ants. I will link it down below. So if you guys wanna like get any bracelets or custom make anything, I think they'll be the best people to go to. Okay, I think I'm just gonna end the video here because I'm just really tired of eating right now. I think I lost my appetite long ago. I think I'm not gonna do a mukbang for a really long time. This is honestly so much more difficult than I thought it would be. Okay, so that marks the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this really filled mukbang / Q&A. I hope that my answers satisfied your questions, and yeah, thank you for staying to the end of the video to hear my long ass story. So till the next video guys, bye! I'm still so hungry.